This is the Live Well and Thrive podcast, hosted by Michael Torchia, health and wellness expert. It's time to shape up, America.
Enthusiast, but most of all, he's a patriotic man. He's a powerful man who speaks his word and doesn't care what Hollywood thinks of his political beliefs. Fabio, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mike, thank you for having me. I mean, you're a great friend, and when you asked me to come on the show, it was my pleasure. I mean, I always have fun with you.
Thank you.
And you're such a good friend.
Thank you, and we have really great conversations.
Oh, awesome.
About everything in life.
Yes.
Not just politics.
Yes, of course.
So I want to address first of all, I know you live in the valley. How close were your fires?
It was very close.
Okay.
Very close, because we had. I live on the other side. I don't want to give the location, but it's like not too far from the Palisade fires, and then we had a fire from Topanga Canyon. And then we had a fire in Calabasas. And even the TV station, they really said our fire department was one of the best in the city. They were like battling all those fires in that area, and they contained it pretty fast. And so also we were very fortunate because in the beginning, the wind was blowing from west to east. And then all of a sudden, around 3:30, it totally switched, and the wind started blowing from north to south. So it brought that fire coming from the Palisade all the way to Encino, and then from Encino went again from east to west towards the Getty Museum. But it was very close. I mean, I could see from my window. It was for a few hills, away. And I mean, all my neighbor, they were like freaking out. They were calling me, what we're going to do, what we're going to do. And, we got the text on the phone, to evacuate it. And I tell you, it was so close. It was very close.
I saw the pictures you had text me, and I could see those fires just blazing.
It's unbelievable.
Just like,
it was,
like on top of the hill from
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
So,
it was so close.
So did you have a go bag? Were you prepared, or?
I was prepared. I have dogs and everything, and normally my dogs are with me in Washington, but they go wherever I go. So my van was totally packed, and all the cages that were in the van, and I could have bring my dog in a split second in the van, and I was ready. I was ready.
Now, how many dogs do you have?
I have total. I have 5 here and 2 in Washington State.
And they're Rottweilers.
Rottweilers, and one is a mix between. It's half German Shepherd and half Rottweiler, but all the other one they're pure breed Rottweilers.
And those are the massive
the
ones.
big one from Germany. You're talking about 140 to 160 pound dogs.
Wow. Well, you must feel pretty safe with those dogs.
But let me tell you, they were dogs. Number one, they have so much. They have such an incredible sixth sense, way more than human. They knew there was something wrong. I never saw my dog so agitated, and they were ready and to go, and that was even before I got the text, the warning text on my phone. My dog, they were already going crazy. They knew there was something major wrong, very close.
Incredible. One of my dear friends, he's a very well-known doctor, and he lives in Malibu. And he told me what he had prepared from the last fires was he bought a commercial pump, commercial fire hose, and he has a very large-sized pool. And what he did was, as soon as the fires started getting close, he saturated every hour 200 feet around his house, soaked the house, and he kept replenishing the water, and he said every single house in his neighborhood was destroyed except for him. And it shows preparation.
Yeah, so it is, but also, it's like it was very tough, this one, number one, because, it was a major screwed up from the state, number one. Number two, we had a 100 miles an hour wind. And it's unbelievable, it's like never. It's almost like a hurricane type of wind with a fire. That's never happened, And but I'm telling you, it was a major screwed up from the politician of the state. I mean, talking about these people that can even run a lemonade stand, you know, and they're so incompetent, and and they are, running the state. My heart goes to all the people out there. They lost their home. They lost everything, and because of the incompetence of these people, of this politician. And on top of that, now I feel really sorry because these people, they're going for answer and for help to the same people that actually caused the problem. Gavin Newsom and the mayor, they were like so incompetent. I'm telling you, these people can't even run a lemonade stand. Forget about a California state.
Yeah,
and now the people, they go up to them and ask for help, like these people can do something. I mean, so much could be done before. It's almost like you going with all the symptom of cancer to the doctor, and the doctor goes like, "Oh, take a couple aspirin, you'll be fine." And then, a few years later, you go back, and now, your cancer is stage 4, and the doctor goes like, "Oh, let's take an MRI." Excuse me, I should have taken the MRI years ago. Okay, so these people, they should be totally fired right away because they cannot help. You will see we're gonna have so many problems, because. Gavin Newsom, I mean, he's a major liar, number one. He's a Pinocchio, and I tell you, I can smell a Pinocchio a mile away. In Italy, we invented Pinocchio, so I can recognize Pinocchio miles away, okay? Like you invent Superman, right? We invented Pinocchio. So he's a major Pinocchio, and look back. This is a man who was the mayor of one of the most beautiful cities in the world, San Francisco, okay? He destroyed San Francisco. It was one of the most beautiful cities, and now is the poop capital of the world, okay? And they reward him, and then the crime went through the roof. And, one of his men, George Gascon, right?
Please.
Then he's the one who wrote Proposition 47, 57. It destroyed the entire state of California. And then, he moved them down here. So not only he destroyed San Francisco, then he destroyed Los Angeles. And this is the guy who destroyed San Francisco. And all of a sudden, because he did such a great job destroying one of the most beautiful cities in the world, they make him a governor. And this guy, you have no clue about business. He has no clue. I mean, the water, come on. It's like, oh, no, it wouldn't make any difference if we have water. Yes, of course. Why are you going to fight the fire? When the poor fire department, they have no water, to fight the fire. And on top of that, they totally, one thing, and I saw this in Europe, because they did this in Europe 15, 20 years ago. They funded the fire department, they funded the police. Those are columns of society. You want to, always take care of the man and woman in a uniform, of the police. You always want to take care of the fire department, because in the most difficult, who's going to save you from or defend you from criminals? Cops. And you know what? Nobody's perfect, right? So there is always, there can be, a few crooked cops. And you know who hate the crooked cops the most? The good cops. Because those people give the good cops a bad rap. Yeah, so true. The good cops are the one they hate the most, the crooked cops.
Well, I actually saw on the news live Newsom lying.
Oh, totally. He's a major Pinocchio.
A woman,
super Pinocchio.
He was making a statement. He was by his SUV. A woman came up and said, "Governor Newsom, what are you doing about the fires?"
Yeah,
and he said, "I'm on the phone with the president."
It's like,
and then she goes, "Well, put him on speakerphone."
Right.
And then she goes, "Come on, put him on speakerphone if you're on the phone." He goes, "Well, I'm not really on the phone. I'm calling him, but he's not answering."
Yeah, and his nose was growing and growing and growing.
Right. So he is a Pinocchio.
Yeah, big time.
But the thing is, it's just like with your health, prevention is more important. Our mayor was in Africa for some award. She's been so preoccupied about the Olympics, not about potential fires, floods that could kill people and destroy property. People lose everything. She's been more concerned about going to the Olympics and making sure when he comes here, and get LA ready when she should be more concerned about the safety and the welfare of our people. Gascon let all those people out that were murderers. With
Totally.
And they murdered and raped
Yes.
our women.
I know for a fact some of the criminal, they tattoo on their face the face of Gascon. Yes.
Wow.
You can ask, sheriff department, in jail, some of the criminal, because, it's like they were totally on the criminal side, and it's unbelievable. And also the poor woman, I saw on TV going up to Gavin Newsom. I'm telling you, that guy can't even run a lemonade stand because he never did businesses in his life. You have to understand, coming from Europe, I saw these people when I left many, 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 many years ago, and they have the same tactics. It's like I always hated politicians because they are the parasites and they are the viruses of the world. They live off the people, and always the people are the one that are going to get the short stick.
And it's a shame
The hand of the
because
stick.
he brings people like Gascon,
Yes.
which are extensions of him,
Right.
and then he corrupts and poisons the rest of the system because he knows they'll agree to everything he says.
Oh yeah,
He's a puppet master. Right?
Yes, they're all corrupt. I mean, look at the train to nowhere, the bullet train, $100 billion. They didn't build anything. $100 billion. Where did $100 billion went? Oh, now there's like what? I think it's like $47 billion. The state in deficit. They don't even know where those money went. I mean, look, they give billions of dollars to homeless. Homeless now is worse than ever. When you live in open borders, okay, what's going to happen? A lot of people come in, right? Not everybody's going to be able to get a job, right? And a lot of these people don't even speak English. So go in a country and you can even communicate it. Try to get a job, right? So all these people, where you think they're going to end up? In the street, homeless. Yeah. So that's why the population of homeless people in LA almost double.
Exactly. It's absolutely disgusting.
So look, defund the police. Okay, if you're not for the police, you're for the criminals, because who's going to save you from the criminals? The police. And let me tell you, even the best surgeon in the world cannot save all lives. Even the best surgeon, you can take the best surgeon in the world, he can't save everybody, right? So the majority of cops, and they're good people. They always put in, their life online to save your life, or to make your life better, and to make your life more, secure. So, that is the last. It is one of the major pillar of society. And the other one is the fire department. Look what they did. They defunded the fire department. They brought, between $17 to $20 million. They give it to the homeless and the illegal immigrant. Sorry, but you know what? It's like throwing the money, and you already have $48 billion in deficit, and you keep giving everything, for free, and then expecting the federal government to send you more money, right?
No, it's crazy, but, I'm sure Newsom would go, oh, I can just go to Biden, and I'm going to be future president, because that's his mindset, and that party's over because now Trump's in there. None of this shit's going to happen.
Right.
And he's going to spank Newsom and Bass and anybody else that does this kind of bullshit.
Right.
I definitely see it. But also, I was told by from the fire department, one of the firefighters that's a dear friend of mine, he said, Mike, first of all, we've been telling the mayor and the governor that the water system is so outdated because when there are multiple fires, the pressure's low. It's not that they don't have water. It's just when it's all being pumped out at once, it was so low they couldn't pump it out to put out the fires. So they have to do a new system. Newsom wouldn't approve it. Bass wouldn't help. Also, they had over 1,000 fire trucks, bulldozers, and cranes, and a big yard that they wouldn't approve because they said we need it for something else for some other group, and they could have used that because that's our safety, right? And all that equipment could have helped.
Oh, totally. And also they have a lot of truck. They were for maintenance and to be fixed, and they fired the majority of the mechanic.
Yeah.
So nobody could fix this truck.
There's no mechanics and no money to fix the equipment. And then they wonder why we had so much devastation.
Right.
And, look what's happened. I had a very dear friend. He's a well-known photographer, Robert Reef. He shot many magazine covers with Weeder publication, many other of my friends. He lost everything. The archives of all the most historically famous bodybuilders that he, took photos of for
Right.
these covers, all gone. He said, Mike, we just made it out with our life, and this should never have been. And I really think it's going to get to a point where people are going to privatize fire department and law enforcement, because that's what's going to happen. Because if our government or our city is not providing it, we have to find another way. Like, look at Beverly Hills. They have top security now, patrolling, armed guards, because they gave up with Beverly Hills cops because they weren't able to stop the robberies and the
Right.
thefts and the shootings.
But also, look, the majority of those people come from, Chile, Venezuela, it's all because of open borders. I mean, those gangs, they're specialized on that kind of, burglary and so on. So you can leave border wide open, okay? And I'm totally, I totally agree with Trump. I mean, you have to get on all this because it's crazy. It was done in Europe for the last 15, 20 years. Well, look, Europe. It's now their citizen, their fourth and fifth class citizen. All the migrant, they get all the benefit in the entire world, and the people get nothing. You have people in Italy, they go and after they work all their life, ask for their pension plan, right, for their check, and the government say, go home. We have no money for you. But in the meantime, the immigrant, they have a free, apartment, free hotel, free food, free phone, free cigarette, free everything. And on top of that, they complain.
Well, I remember you shared a story with me that in Italy, that a squatter can break into someone's house, take it over, and the cops can't do a darn
Nothing.
thing. So share that example. That was, mind-blowing.
Right now, it got so bad, then actually they can wait for, let's see, you're a couple, right? For you and your wife to leave the house, right? So they will stack out, right? They look your, what time you leave, what time you come back. So now you and your wife, you go to the supermarket. They will break in your house. And I'm not talking about one family. Sometimes it can be like 3, 4 family coming in your house. And you come back home, right? And there are now like 3 or 4 family living in your house, and your door is broken, and you call the cops, and the cops will come over and say there is nothing you can do. This is civil, is illegal, and in Italy, normally it takes about 5 to 6 years to go in front of the judge. So in the meantime, those people that can live in your house, they can trash your house. You're not even allowed to pick up your clothes or anything you belonging in your house. And God forbidden, if you get into, a confrontation with these people, you get arrested. They can call the cops on you, and say, "Oh, he's threatened me," right? And the cops will arrest you. And this is your house.
That's insanity. My God.
So you have to wait, anything from 4 to 6 years. Then you're going to get your house is going to be all trash, and if you have a mortgage, you still.
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, you still have to pay. I mean, it's
And
unbelievable.
the judges allow this shit?
The judges, they're like, the government, they make it so impossible. Then a lot of even federal judges, they retire because. I have a dear friend of mine who's a federal judge. He goes, Fabio, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I'm fuming. I would like to take the side of the people, and I can't because the law doesn't allow me.
Wow.
Because they make such everything for the illegal immigrant, everything is free. For the Italian people, is a different story. The Italian people now, they're the 4th or 5th down the line. It's like they don't count anything anymore.
Why do you think they do that?
Oh, because it's like more. I mean, you have Italy as one of the most corrupted, government on the planet for the longest time. I mean, you have a prime minister a long time ago. They stole billions, and then they went on national TV and go like, so what? What are you going to do about it when they got caught on national TV? And the people, there's nothing they can do because they have a parliament immunity. That's how bad They are, totally in bed with the Vatican. I mean, like talking about the Vatican, right? They always say, oh, they always preach about to all the Italian, we should, and the European, we should welcome all those people, okay, with open arm, right? So Italy and all, Europe is being getting invaded for the last 20 years. I'm talking about like
That's terrible.
thousands and thousands every week, okay? Maybe 15 to 25,000 every month, right? But you know what? How many the Vatican take inside the Vatican? Not even one. But tells you, as a good Samaritan, as a good Christian, you should welcome all these people, And, but of course, they tell you what to do, but they don't, they don't follow what they preach.
They just
they
say
didn't even
it for lip service, yeah.
Right. So even even the Pope, it was like shut up. It's like you really want to do something? Bring some of these people inside the Vatican. You
house them if you feel so bad about it, right?
What's that?
Well, house them if you feel so bad. Bring them.
No,
to the
exactly.
Vatican.
But they don't do anything. They don't do anything.
And
they don't want those people.
They have
in
so
the
much
Vatican.
money, the Vatican.
Of course, they have the richest, one of the richest country in the world.
Well,
and one of the most corrupt country in the world.
Well, you know how like history at times can repeat itself. I mean, look what happened to Mussolini. The people finally got sick, right? And look what they did to him.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, but as the Pope, in Italy, they're like, oh my God, the Pope saying anything. Everybody.
Well, the Pope is different, but I'm talking about the government.
Yeah, but it's like
positions.
how they gonna revolt against the government? They have no gun, they have nothing.
That's right. You can't have guns in Italy, right?
No, absolutely. I tell you, it's like there's so many stories like that in Europe. Like 4 guys from Africa, one time they broke into a country home owned by an old couple. They were like in the 70s, okay? They tied up the 2 husband and wife to the chair. They beat the living crap out of them for hours because they wanted to cash and jewelry. Well, but they don't know, coming from Africa, they don't know the majority of the Italian people. They keep cash or jewelry in a safety box in a bank. So they were like keep beating up these people, okay? And finally, they go like, okay, let's go and look all over the house. Because these people say, we have nothing in the house. We have everything, in a bank. So they started going from room to room, but the couple didn't tell them they had the Doberman. So at one point, they opened a door, and the Doberman came out and chewed them all 4, okay? It did a job on them. Can you believe they went to the police and pressed charge against the couple? The police went over. They still find the 2 old people tied up in a chair, all bloody and everything. And you know what the police did? They arrested the dog.
What?
They put the dog under arrest. The entire Italy was up in arms. They put the dog under arrest.
So what happened when they went to court? What happened?
Oh, nothing. Nothing happened to those 4 guys, right? Nothing.
What happened to the couple and the dog?
Oh, it's like they nothing. It's the dog got put in the shelter under arrest.
But it was okay. It wasn't killed.
No.
Oh,
But
thank
you know
God.
what? But still, excuse me,
Jeez.
your dog is your house. What does it do? It's
The balls
guarding
of
your
them
house.
to go and file a complaint.
No, you don't understand. In Italy, they got to a point where, God forbid, somebody can almost kill you, and the dog will attack that person and, do some damage, right?
Self-defense.
Self-defense. The dog will go, it will get arrested. They got to a point
Wow.
where all the laws, they're on the side of the criminal.
So we're
It's
not
almost like, well, they started here with Gascon. It's like, hey, they come to your house and they can do $30,000, $40,000 in damage, but they only steal $100,000, right?
Right, yeah.
They get a ticket. So you see where you're going. You see, I saw this movie before, okay? All this policy, they were, put in place in countries like Italy and Europe 15 years ago.
Jeez.
All this, and I tell you, the politicians, they're so stupid. They're not the brightest people. So what they do, when they go and talk to each other, when they have this big meeting G8, G20, right? They all themselves in one room and talking about how stupid people are, right? They go like, okay, you should try this because it worked in my country. I apply all these laws, right? 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and look at now, right? I'm totally in control. So, then you have people like Nancy Pelosi and so on. They go to Italy and they hear all the Italian, politician, all the garbage they do over there, and then she brings all this incredible idea without even changing a dot or comma.
Terrible.
And they apply to the American people. But coming from over in Europe, you go like, I saw this crap before. I saw this movie before.
Yeah.
And because they don't change anything. So you go like, oh, wow. It's like, at least change something, right? No, they go by the letter.
Well, I'm so surprised because I thought we had it bad over here. Wow. I wouldn't want to live in Italy with that kind of law.
The thing is like, over there, they're like 15 years ahead of us. So we're like on a verge. I mean, we're like almost to the cliff. Oh, they jumped the cliff a long time ago.
Wow.
Long time ago. So,
Now, share with me another question I have is universal medicine, health insurance. What's that all about? When you were telling me about a friend that needed help, even your own sister needed help.
With people in different country, they don't understand. They don't understand socialized medicine. They don't. Socialized medicine, when number one is run by government, and everything government touch turn to shit. So it never work. It doesn't work. Let's say you have, God forbid, somebody have cancer, right? In America, you can get an MRI pretty fast. In Europe, you have, except Germany, you have to sometime wait in line 8-10 months just to have an MRI. So think about where the cancer is going to go.
Oh my God! It's going to spread, and you can't do anything about it.
And then here you have hope to be a cancer survivor. With socialized medicine, you have no hope. There is no cancer survivor. You don't, because like number one, doctor, they don't care. Number two, everything is run by the government. So you have a bunch of employee in the government. They have piles, hundreds of thousands of file on their desk, and they're on a computer watching porn, because they don't care. You're just a number.
Now, isn't it true that if you have money,
yeah,
you can fast track it? So
okay,
share that.
Okay. Stay with me. I'll tell you exactly how the system works. So until you have a cold, a cough, or whatever, a flu, you get free antibiotic, free suppository, right? Free cough medicine. But God forbidden, when it's something serious, like cancer or any other diseases, then it becomes very expensive, because if you want to pass in front of the line, you have to pay all the doctor under the table. And most of these doctors, they want cash.
So when you say pay, what kind of money you talking about?
Oh, for surgery, you're talking about, depends. For cancer surgery, up to like 150,000 euro, not dollars, euro.
Oh my God!
So it's probably about $160,000, $170,000.
Unbelievable.
And they will pass in front of the line, and on top of that, they want cash, so then they will not get caught, right? And then, God forbidden, they messed up all the time, and there is no such a thing of suing a doctor in Europe, because number one, the doctor was for the government, the judge worked for the government. So let's say you sue the doctor. It means you're suing the government. Okay. So normally, if you're lucky, for a case like that, you can go, like in Italy, in front of the judge 20 or 30 years later. Is the waiting time. And then no judge is going to rule against the doctor. No judge is going to rule against the government. He get paid by the government. The doctor get paid by the government. So good luck. So he's never going to rule. Doesn't matter all the proof you have, then the doctor messed up. You can never win.
I have a dear friend that lives in Canada, and they have that medicine, which he talked about the health program they offer there, where he can get like cough medicine and other things like that very quickly. But he said, Mike, I had a problem where I thought there's something wrong with my heart. And I made an appointment, and they said take at least 9 months to see the cardiologist. So sure enough, he said, Mike, I don't know if I'm going to make it. He kept calling me. I would talk to him on the phone, tell him some things to stay healthy. And one day, I couldn't get a hold of him. And I got word, and I started texting. And then sure enough, I reached out to someone that lived near him, and they went to see him because they used to drop off eggs. And he had a heart attack. Of course, he's okay now, and they got him in. But he got to the hospital, and then finally they put him in front of a doctor. But here was the guy saying, I need help. And they said, well, you got to wait 9 months to see a doctor. And he could have died. So it's just terrible.
Americans, they have no idea how good they have it. They have the best doctor in the world. That's why everybody from all over the world, if they have money, they come to the United States. Even Queen Elizabeth, she could have had the royal treatment in England when she has something major. She used to go to Houston.
Yeah.
Or the king, the sheikh of Saudi Arabia, Dubai, they come to America. People
so
don't
true.
understand. As a matter of fact, many times I got into a discussion with some American people. Say, socialized medicine. And they go like, I'm telling you, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. When you talk to an American person, when they tell you, I'm going to go to the doctor, it's like, he's the best. He's the best surgeon. He's the best, everybody has the best,
Sure.
And, but the funny thing is, the way socialized medicine work, they need a lot of doctors. So what the government will do, it will lower the standard in the university. So all of a sudden, your mediocre doctor is the best. And the other one, they are butchers, then they were never supposed to pass the university. You should never be a doctor. All of a sudden, there's a lot of those doctors. So you get a lot of butchers. And you know what? The government doesn't care because, it's like, if they kill people left and right, they're not responsible.
Well,
there's no accountability.
The three top reasons why there's death in the United States. Number one, I think it is cancer. Number two is heart attacks. And number three, medical error. It's the third highest level of reason why people die. Is all the mistakes in the hospital. My father died by mistake. A doctor prescribed the wrong medicine. Never made my father aware that he couldn't have an empty stomach. He had high blood pressure. And my father went into the hospital, and he told my mother, he said, get me out of here. Hospitals kill people. And he spoke very little English. And I said my mother was in New York, and my mother was in Georgia because they were living with my sister. It doesn't look good. And I flew out there with my brother, and he was strapped to the table, his arms and his legs. And I called over to the nurse, what's this shit? Take this off. She says, well, your father's a powerful man. He kept screaming, you're going to kill me. Get me out of here. So what happened was he ended up his heart failing. We sat by his side till his heart stopped. And it was so strange because my father had that premonition. And they found out that it was the blood pressure medicine created a severe ulcer, and he bled to death. Oh. And if they didn't knock my father out, they would have realized the pain, would have identified where the pain was coming from. They didn't bother to look at his abdominal area. He would have been alive maybe today.
Right.
So my father had that premonition, and I felt so bad to see my father, was a powerful man, just be strapped down. I immediately said, take it off now. I made sure to take it off. He's fine. I'm here. But they strapped him down like an animal.
I know.
So medical error is terrible.
Unfortunately, the medical system can't save everybody. It's like, they're humans, so they're going to make mistakes. But the problem is, in America, you still have the best medical system in the world. Over there, it's like everybody dies. Yeah. It's like, it's crazy. I tell all my friends, if you're in Europe, if you're in Germany, you'll be fine. Okay, in Germany they have a good, medical, because the German, they're very precise. They're very anal. They're very, They're meticulous, okay? But any other country like France, England, Italy, Spain, Portugal, I mean, you want to get out, get the first freaking plane back to United States. I can tell you story over and over. Friends of mine, they actually, I told them, get out, get on your first plane, right? Get out, because I'm telling you, you have no idea. And this is American people. You know, one example, you know, Gandolfini, the guy who was, you know, the soprano.
Yeah.
Okay, he always loved to go see Italy. Well, so he went to see Rome. When he was in Rome, right? Unfortunately for him, he had a heart attack. If it was in America, he would be still alive. You know what happened to him? So he had a heart attack in the hotel. So what happened, the son called the front desk to get an ambulance, okay? And the ambulance wouldn't show up. So the son started calling the wife in New York City. The wife is calling Italy from New York City to get an ambulance. The ambulance didn't show up like almost like an hour and 45 minutes later. Okay, and he was dead. I mean, an ambulance here is fast. Okay, but the way everything works, they don't care. They don't care if you live or if you die, because you know what? They're not responsible. It's not like, hey, you know, I called let's say in the United States, if something would have happened to Gandolfini right here in the United States, in New York City, right? And the ambulance shows like an hour and 45 minutes late. Oh, it would be a major lawsuit. Over there, they will laugh at you.
Well, when it comes to something serious as that, time is everything. Like with Bruce Lee, when he was taken to the hospital, his manager didn't want him to go to the hospital right across the street because of the press. They wanted to go to the hospital that was 45 minutes to an hour away. He died in the ambulance. If they said if he had gotten there in time, he may have still lived. So timing is essential.
Oh, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. You know, but over there, they don't care. You will have really government employee, really, like they have like thousands and thousands of file of people waiting to have MRI or CAT scan on their desk. And they're watching, you know, porn on, they don't care. Because, you know why? Yeah. Because if they do one file or 10,000 file, they get paid the same. So where's the incentive? Of course they're not going to do, you know, they do here and there 1 or 2 files, and then, you know, they have free the rest of the day to do whatever they want. Because whatever they do, it doesn't matter how much you work or little they work, they get paid the same.
What a shame.
You know? And then you have all these doctors, they're like super, super corrupted. It's like, okay, you know, you want to pass in front of the line, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So you want an MRI before than everybody else? Think about somebody have cancer and they have to wait 9, 10 months.
Ugh.
That person will pay under the table.
Yeah.
And the MRI, like in America, instead to cost like a, you know, $1,000, $1,500, and then it's covered by the insurance, they probably have to pay, you know, $10,000 for an MRI. And you better bring cash. No check.
Yeah, not too many people can do that.
No.
Wow.
No, you have to like pay cash because this doctor, they don't want it to be, you know, they're like, oh, the guy never give me money. You know, how are you going to prove it? You give the money cash.
So now where do you live predominantly now? Is here?
Washington State.
Washington State. And you got what, like 500 acres up there? How do you like living there?
Love it. Love it.
What is it like? Describe it to me.
It's like, you know, I'm right in the middle of National Park, so it's so beautiful. Actually, it's one of the most beautiful national park, not just in America, in the world. You know, National Geographic said it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
So what kind of animals walk around?
Oh my God, we got everything. We have bears, mountain lion. We got gigantic elks. We got every single animal you can possibly imagine. Otters. I mean, you name it.
And you got a lake too, right?
Yeah. And you know, I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. And now, more and more people from California, they're discovering the place, and they are moving like crazy. I mean, local, they don't like it so much because they bring in, you know, the price of the home and the land, you know, up. But I'm telling you, there are so many people from California that are moving up there.
Incredible.
Because you can have more for your money, and then beautiful, and everything is built, very well, because of rain, snow. So you see the building here, a little rain, right, and all of a sudden you have a leak and everything. The roof is falling apart. Over there, it doesn't matter how much rain, how much snow. The homes, they're solid.
Now, I remember you told me that you bought a tractor from Japan, and you drive that tractor around your property.
Oh, we on my property. I mean, in Washington State, in that area, you have trees. I mean, the average height of a tree is 150 feet. That's the average.
Wow.
They have tree even much bigger, and we have tree. They're like 500, 600 years old. Like sequoia, redwood. I mean, you name it, huge tree. Even the biggest. I mean, some of those branches, they're bigger than the biggest tree in LA. So if something like that falls down, it's like moving two 18-wheelers. How are you going to do it?
And you got like a supersized tractor.
Yeah. I'm like one of those really big. I mean, the wheels, they're about 6'3", and then you have to go four steps in the cabin. So you're probably about 1 story high.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's one of those.
You got to send me a picture. You driving a tractor.
Yeah, it's
I could never picture you driving a tractor.
It's the bucket the bucket is wide of a road.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
man.
but you need it because something like one of this big tree fell. How are you going to move it?
Unbelievable.
You call. Of course, you have to call somebody with industrial equipment, right? But in cases like that, industrial equipment. All those companies, they're busy, right? Because not just happened to you, but happened to some other people. So you maybe have to wait a week, 8 days. But in the meantime, you have this gigantic tree who will block your driveway. How are you going to get out?
Oh my God.
So you need.
So now, did you ship your car collection and motorcycle collection up there too?
Yeah.
So how many cars and motorcycles do you have?
Oh God.
Come on.
I mean, a lot. A lot.
Hundreds?
A lot. More than that. I got probably about 430 motorcycles.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you got someone to start it up to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah. I start them up and everything. I like to work on it. I mean, the street bikes, no, because now everything is computerized.
Yeah.
You have to bring it to a dealer, because they have the program and everything. There's nothing you can do. It's not just the motor,
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's the electronic that goes bad.
Yeah.
So you need all those, you need to bring it to, but dirt bikes and stuff like that. Those are easy to work on.
That's like a reality show in itself. You living on a farm.
Trust me, they offer me so many times. Even one of the biggest production company in America, they wanted to do, a TV show, and depends how much of my time is going to take.
Sure.
That's why right now I told them no, it's going to take too much time. But if they can work around my schedule, I'll definitely do it.
And what else are you doing? Is there anything you're working on exciting?
Well, I still have, always offers all the time. Even recently, last Friday, there's a big show on CBS called Ghost.
Yeah.
Prime Time.
Yeah.
Prime Time is one of the biggest comedy right now on TV. They wanted me to go up Montreal, for like a week, 10 days to shoot. To be in a TV show, and they called Friday. They want me on a plane on a Sunday. I'm like, you know what? I can't do it. Number one, because I have to place all my dogs right to the kennel and everything. Is the last minute. You should have, let me know at least a week or 10 days before. But I still have, I got requests for commercial all the time.
And you were on several covers of international magazines, correct?
Yeah. But it's also, I'm really good in trading stocks, and and I love it. And stock market, it's amazing if you know how to buy and sell.
That's an art form.
Right, and it's like I have that sense of business, so it's like, and it's great because press of the button, you can make a lot of money. You don't have to get up, and go to work. And I love that, and it's America. I mean, this is really the best country in the world. That's why, American people, they have to realize how fortunate we are, and totally get rid of these losers, politicians that we have. It's like the first thing they should have done is get rid of, Newsom, and get rid of, Mayor Bass, because it's like these are the people that cause the problem, and now you go into them for a solution.
Yeah.
Trust me, you didn't see even the beginning. You didn't even not even the tip of the iceberg. You touched it, because these people, you will see so many things that are going to come out, and because they're totally disorganized, they have no idea about business. They have no sense of business. So I feel sorry really for all these people. They're going to be for a long, long, long time before they will be able to, rebuild the house. And something then, I'm very technical. I come from a family of engineers, so I always loved, that's why my father wanted me to be an engineer, because since I was a kid, I was very good. Right. Putting stuff together, totally pulling motorcycle apart and put it back together, without even a manual.
That's amazing.
So it's something you have, something, it's some people some people they're very artistic, right? They can sing, they can act, and some other people they're very handy, or they're very, prone towards engineer, or people that feel prone to save life, right? They become doctors. So to me, everything technical fascinates me, and right now nobody's talking about because they're so worried about. But I can tell people up there, because of electric cars, and because of solar panel, how do you storage the energy of solar panel? Lithium battery. Correct, so all the lithium battery is the most toxic thing. I hate to say this, but I know for fact, and I know also have a few friends that are top engineer of some of the biggest car manufacturer in the world, okay? And we were talking about, and people don't even talk about, you see all those lithium battery. You remember, people when they think about battery, they think about the small battery in their car. No. Lithium battery electric car, if the car is 13 feet long, the battery is 13 feet long by 6.5 feet wide. And those battery, it's all lithium. Lithium is like a bomb. It's like an atomic bomb. So when they leak, they contaminate everything.
Oh, they contaminate everything.
Everything. And what people they're talking about, moving the debris and get rid of the debris, they have to move hills, because when the lithium get into the ground, you have to remove all the dirt. Otherwise, those poor people, they're going to eventually, in few years from now, they're going to get cancer. You think then actually the September 11, it was bad? You see all those people that work around the area, all this fire department, the firemen, they got lung cancer and stuff like that. This is 10,000 worse, 10,000 times worse. And now the rain, it gets some of those lithium, spread it, and it goes to the ocean, so that they're going to contaminate the fish. Lithium, that's why, now most of the car company, they're trying to get away from lithium battery because it's a time bomb.
Why can't they do like a solar panel so it doesn't have to have that lithium battery? Why can't?
But you still have to storage the energy. How are you going to storage the energy? You still need a battery.
Yeah, wow.
Okay,
shame.
That's why all those battery. When you have a solar panel, right? The solar panel capture
and retains that energy.
Right, and then the battery is the one who storage when your electricity goes off, right? Then you can use that power from your battery, okay? But this is all lithium. So you're talking about Palisade, that most of the people, they have a solar panel, a lot of those batteries, and tons of electric cars. Yeah. So you're talking about that area. I don't want to go down that area. I know even for a long time. I'm telling you about is like an atomic bomb there.
I like riding my motorcycle at PCH and grab lunch in Cross Creek. I used to. And I had friends that want to go this Friday. I said, I'm not going to Malibu. Especially driving that fast.
You don't want to go.
Sucking in that toxic air. No way. And I don't want to see the depressing.
But do you see now, they keep saying, oh, the PAPA, oh, it's not safe. They know. Those bastards, those politicians, they know. But nobody wants to talk about it, about all the lithium leakage, down there. Nobody wants to talk about it because, oh my God, now we're going to tell these people, they're going to go down there, besides lost everything, now also their ground is contaminated with lithium, and they can develop in the long run cancer.
Yeah, like all those cops and those first responders in
Right.
9/11 that died from
But
horrible cancer.
this is, I'm telling you, I talked to a couple top engineer. They work with this battery all the time.
Oh,
So
geez.
they know how toxic, and that will give people cancer left and right. It's way worse than the rest of the chemo. Lithium, it's deadly.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this
That's
up.
that's why they use cobalt. Cobalt is the only metal that can resist to very, very high temperature.
Right.
Because every car company, they know very well, lithium is like a time bomb. Okay, I know you have cells, right? They can use other metals in regular battery. They cannot use none of the other metal in a lithium battery. They can only use cobalt, because cobalt is the only metal who resists to really, really, really high temperature. And also, when the lithium battery is start heating up, you can't cool it down like the other battery. It will
Is that why a lot of those Teslas, when they caught on fire, they couldn't put them out?
it will explode. Yes.
Oh, wow.
It will explode. It's called a thermal runaway. Okay, and it's mean if the battery gets very hot, eventually it will explode. That's why you cannot turn off with water a car, electric car. You can't. Ask the fire department. They tried for 4 days to turn off some of this electric car with water. Nothing.
So they have to use that foam?
No, they have to bury it under the ground
Oh, jeez.
because the water doesn't do anything. Lithium is so powerful. It's like like an atomic bomb. I mean, it's like, water doesn't do anything.
Wow. I got to say, Fabio, this was one heck of an interview, man. You're so knowledgeable. And
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your stories and all these wonderful facts.
Oh, please. And also, there is another thing. Mayor Bass sent millions and millions and millions of dollars to all the brand new equipment who was supposed to go to the fire department to Ukraine. Now, I understand if you have billions and billions surplus, right?
Yeah.
But if you, all this hand-free, it's like, oh, free-handed, here to the illegal, here to the, it's like you're already 47 or $48 billion, in red.
Yeah.
And you keep giving freebies?
No, well, I really think Trump's going to be stepping in.
Oh,
He
it has
sees-
to.
he
It
sees
has to,
this
because
going
these people
on.
are idiots.
Yeah.
They have no sense of business. They don't understand. It's like, you remember during COVID, right? They lock every single one in the house.
Yeah.
And open border is like all the people contacted. They were like COVID. They were pouring into
Oh,
California.
yeah, it was terrible. It
They were
was just-
pouring, but they make you stay locked in the house.
Yeah.
That's how stupid they are.
No, it was just, that was, sometimes I reflect back, I feel like it was a nightmare that we actually couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything. Well, for me, I have a gym in my house, so
See,
I was train.
I was in my place in the middle of the national park, where you're gonna not
Paradise.
an elk. I was like,
Yeah.
nobody was wearing a mask. Nobody. How were you gonna get coffee from an elk or
Yeah.
from a bear? Like, it's like we were like having, like you go to the supermarket, everything was there, everything. Over here, people they're fighting and killing each other over toilet paper.
Yeah, and
You
water.
remember? Yeah.
Jeez. I saw the market. People were nasty, getting
Yeah.
into fights.
Yeah.
And it was just horrible. Brought
Yeah.
out the worst in people.
Costco, they had to call LAPD. And it's like up there was all the toilet paper you wanted. There was water, everything you wanted. It was never
Wow,
run
I
out.
should have came up and saw you.
Yeah, totally. And
Drive that tractor around, ride a few of the bikes.
you don't have to worry about anything, and you're surrounded by beautiful nature, and you don't have to worry about viruses,
Well, God bless you, man. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Mike.
you again for coming on.
Anytime you want it, you can come up
Definitely.
and spend some time.
I would love to do that.
Okay, thanks.
I want to thank you for watching. We need your support, so please subscribe. And if you have anybody that you care about, share this episode. It could save their life. Thank you.